With the stress that these past couple of years have brought us, some businesses have been struggling with understaffing and what is known as quiet quitting. Suzanne Levine is here now to talk to us about how to prevent this from happening and how to encourage a better workplace. It's so great to see you again, Suzanne.
Thank you. I hope you had a wonderful Labor Day weekend.
I definitely did. I hope you did as well.
I did, except for the weather, but that's Michigan for you.
Exactly.
Michigan,
Yeah.
the weather was kind of quiet quitting.
Yeah, pretty much. So, first of all, can you tell us exactly what the term quiet quitting means?
Well, it's a new term where people are not giving 100% to their job. Whether it's through management, poor management, where people are discouraged from, working to their full capacity, or that perhaps the customers are extremely rude. I know that there's a lot of restaurant workers that are pretty fed up because people are blaming them for, the food shortage or the long time of waiting for their food. So it's this whole new movement where people just aren't giving 100%, and they really don't care about their jobs anymore, which is really surprising.
So, what advice do you have for business owners to get their employees to kind of be more motivated to work and stop this quiet quitting?
I think they really need to have a conversation with them and see what is going on. It would be great if they could hire some sort of life coach or business coach to find out what the issues are with the employees and their business and see what they can tweak to make their employees happier. We know that a lot of businesses can't afford to pay their employees what they, deserve, but there are ways to motivate them by making sure that it's, praise over raise, or maybe they can give them an extra day off, or maybe a bigger discount on some of the things in their store. So, trying to make sure that their employees are happy, because we know one bad interaction with an employee at a store, and that can ruin your business. Word of mouth is always going to be stronger than any amount of advertising you can possibly do.
So, do you believe that the pandemic, maybe brought a lot to do with this, especially with people being online and working from home? Do you think that has kind of stopped their motivation to work, just being at home and not really being in the place?
I think so. And I also know from speaking to several high level leaders in different businesses, especially IT, where the people realized that they really hated their jobs. I think that's what the pandemic did for some people, is they realized, wow, I really don't like going to work. And so some of them just, quit or changed jobs or changed careers even, or they went back to work with this attitude that I don't really care. So I'm going to accept a paycheck and do the least possible amount of work.
Do you think there's a trend in younger people having less motivation to work than maybe the people who have been in the workforce a little bit longer?
I think that we see a trend, especially in younger people, where they want to love their job. And we know that from some of the other places like Google, Facebook, et cetera, they gave them all these incredible perks, to come to work with, snack rooms and nap rooms and, time off maternity and paternity leave. And so smaller corporations can't, or businesses can't afford to do that. So, yes, I think that the younger generation has a different attitude. They want to love their job. Pay is not enough to keep them motivated.
So I saw an article that talked about the term quiet firing, which is basically when an employer kind of purposely isn't, the best to their employees that gets them to quit. Do you think that this is a big issue that we're facing?
I think so. I think part of the reason that they want an employee to quit is that then they don't have to pay unemployment. So, sometimes it's more of a subconscious thing where you just have bad management. I mean, people that do not treat their employees or any human the way that they should. Sort of that golden rule, treat people the way you want to be treated, which I think is so important. So yes, I think there's, the reverse effect where you have really bad managers who just don't know how to treat people, and maybe they want them to quit, but are afraid because of lawsuits or perhaps even, unemployment claims. So yeah, I think there's this whole trend of, a back and forth of quiet quitting and quiet firing. And we need to change the whole dynamic about how we look at people and the workforce. We need people to work. There are certain jobs that are not replaceable by robots. And I really think we have to change the dynamic of the way that we think and treat people.
Right. So unfortunately, we are wrapping up on time right now. We want to remind our viewers about this leadership event that's happening next week. We're very excited about it. We can't wait for it, and we can't wait to hear about how it goes.
Yeah, and it's great. Civic Center TV will be covering part of it. So hopefully the people will watch that haven't been able to purchase a ticket. And we have a ribbon cutting this Friday at Elysium Medical Aesthetics. Go to our website, www.westbloomfieldchamber.com. Learn more about all the great ribbon cuttings and networking events that we have. And I hope people have a really healthy and great rest of the week. And remember to treat your local businesses as precious jewels because they are the backbone of our community.